What is going on, FA Nation? John Pemba here with James Grande. Welcome into the Fantasy Alarm MLB DFS Playbook live show. It is Friday. We've made it to the end of the work week here, Grande. We got a big baseball slate to talk about, some weather to talk about, some key players not in lineups today. Kind of upsetting, you know. I guess superstars need days off too. But we'll break it all down. You did the playbook today. You got the inside info on what we're looking for here. Give me your 1 to 2 second thought, I guess, on the overview of where we might be looking to go here today.
Baseball players are soft, John. I don't know what to tell you. Resting.
Resting on a Friday? What a joke. On Sunday. You rest on Sunday. What are we doing?
Why don't we hear this? Why don't we hear this uproar about MLB players resting? Huh? Only the NBA gets. That's my take. Sure. NBA players get it all the brunt. How about let's go after Corbin Carroll and Ellie De La Cruz today for taking days off? Huh? They don't want to do their jobs, even though they're making millions of dollars. Just kidding.
More money than they're making in the NBA.
I'm not going to be that guy. I'm not that guy.
That actually might not be true anymore. Guys in the NBA are getting.
Oh no! Yeah, I mean I would say just with the guaranteed money, those two are right up there, right? With 1 and 2 in some order. Overarching thought on this slate is it's a really good balance, I think, of top tier pitching and top tier hitting. And I do think that there's, at least when we'll dive into some offenses, two specifically on the front of the brain that are very misrepresented in terms of ownership that I'm excited to get into.
Sure. Appreciate you guys popping in. Faisal, happy Friday. Dapper Dan with the popcorn sunglasses, tuning in, getting ready to go.
You think he's actually eating popcorn?
Maybe. My wife hates when I make popcorn because I like burnt things, so I go overcook popcorn intentionally.
No, John. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, so I like a little bit of a burnt popcorn. I like a little char.
Okay. I'm going to ask this question.
Yeah.
And our friendship really is really going to be up in the air. Okay. How do you get your steak?
Oh, no, I get a medium.
Medium. Thank God.
Yeah, I'm not well doneing my steak. I will order a hamburger medium well because I want to cook through for a hamburger because sometimes hamburgers at restaurants, they get really greasy and the bun gets Sure. So I like it cooked through on a hamburger, but steak we do medium rare.
Okay.
Mark says I'm a serial killer. Possibly. I do like burnt popcorn. That is true.
I mean, I was gonna leave the show if you said just eat all my steaks well done.
No. Mark can attest. I order steak in front of Mark a lot.
Oh, the Dexter of DFS is amazing. Yeah. Oh, that is.
But I'll do a medium well burger. We'll do medium rare steak, and I will eat popcorn well done. But I do like a lot. I do like to order foods kind of burnt. So that is true.
AMC popcorn, AMC. If you're going into the AMC.
You can't customize your AMC popcorn, but if I'm at home,
yeah, the AMC. But the AMC brand, that's the GOAT.
Oh, I don't know. Whatever. I just buy whatever's on sale for the popcorn.
Okay.
But the bag just says $2.30 in the microwave. I do 3 minutes. I get it. So she's like, "Is there a fire in the house?" And I say, "No,
just the popcorn.
Me enjoying my popcorn." Grilled cheese, burn the bread, hot dogs. I like it burnt on all sides.
Okay,
we're there. That was just a delay to get you guys in the show, so we appreciate you all tuning in.
Dexter of DFS is gonna live forever. I love that.
Anyways, we're cool with it. Ken the Man wants to know. We'll just start off with pitching here.
Okay.
Do you think playing Schwellenbach over Skubal in single entry is too contrarian or better for the MMEs and 20 maxes?
So, if you didn't know, Tarek Skubal pitches today.
Does.
Spencer Schwellenbach pitches today.
He does.
One of them is not Tarek Skubal. But the other one has the much better matchup.
Yeah.
Tarek Skubal is the best pitcher in baseball. And I will never, ever, 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 ever sit here and tell you not to play Tarek Skubal, right? that guy is just better. He's better than your favorite pitcher's favorite pitcher.
Sure.
Right? Like, has a shutout against the Yankees this year, has blanked the Cardinals, came off the Mona Lisa against the Guardians with a dominant 16 straight scoreless. I mean, he is just what he is. The Cubs are really good. They're not as and the Giants are not as good. And if you're talking about recent form, Spencer Schwellenbach, clearly in the best form he's been in. At least when you're talking about missing bats. This is the guy last year.
22 strikeouts last 2 starts against Padres and Boston. I mean,
that's the guy we were hoping for this year. And it had been one start of us hoping that it would return. Like, where are the strikeouts? Where are the strikeouts? Where are the strikeouts. There they are.
Yep.
So I don't think it's crazy. Obviously, $1,500 is a lot of money to be saving. Going from Skubal to Schwellenbach. That's the difference of getting Pete Alonso or Juan Soto or whoever else you want to spend up on. So I can't fault you. Obviously, Skubal has the highest ceiling of any pitcher in baseball. We just saw
in cash games. I think you play Skubal. I don't even care about the matchups.
I don't either.
Cash game player, and in single entry, that generally is almost the same sort of idea. You want to be a little contrarian, but in single entry, Skubal is going to go be 40%. You kind of want that 40%.
Correct.
In your lineup. I will say it is equally interesting. I'll just hit this refresh button before I say something that ends up not being correct here. Ben Brown in that same game is the second highest roster pitcher today at $7,000.
Is that surprising to you?
No, because we talk strikeouts all the time when it comes to DraftKings. But those numbers against lefties are not good.
They aren't.
Now, he does have like a 32% strikeout rate against lefties, but he has that against everything. But it's like 300 batting average, almost 500 slugging, like 370 WOBA. The batting average in balls in play, our guy, we were talking to Carlucci earlier, is like, hey, this 460 BABIP seems very unlucky. Well, it kind of is, but they're hitting like 40% hard contact off of him. So, like, if he's not missing bats versus lefties, they're smoking it. And Detroit, I'm not sure if you've checked their lineup at all this season. They can throw basically an entire lineup of lefties at you if they want to. So I'm a little concerned. The price point certainly makes sense. It's only $7,000. Elite strikeout guy. Because he strikes out so many guys, his like expected ERA, his FIP, his xFIP, his Sierra, they're all elite numbers. But his ERA is 5.7 and his WHIP's 1.5 for a reason. Just, when they hit him, they hit him. Then they hit him hard.
So 5 lefties today.
Yep.
Not as many as you'd want.
Sure.
Tigers are also, as the kids would say, John, are just mid against right-handed pitching this year. They are 15th in OPS and WOBA. And they also are basically a 24% strikeout rate to right-handed pitching. So, like, while I agree that the lefty stuff is concerning, it's another just viewpoint of, like, elite strikeout arm that's underpriced against an offense that hits lefties really well. And like, you would think they would be better. They're not. I mean, they're league average in most guys. Like, their WRC plus.
They have like a handful of elite hitters, right? Like,
yes,
Carpenter, Green. They just got Parker Meadows back. Hasn't been, there for a while. Keith, obviously now moving down the lineup a little bit. Has had off and on struggles this year for sure. It's still not. I think they're a better lineup maybe than those numbers would suggest moving forward. Now that their lineup is a bit more established, but.
Probably.
Again, also a guy with such elite strikeout numbers that it may not ultimately matter to your own point there. So at $7K, I get the price point because we talked about it last night. Throwing a dart at JB Sears, maybe Dean Creamer, the other side, but in a bad ballpark. I mean, there wasn't a lot of value on this slate that we really looked to go to.
I have
Corbin Burns, Tommy John surgery.
Yep.
GG's.
Okay. That's unfortunate. All right. Well, Diamondbacks are going to be selling. I have one dart today that we didn't talk about. We'll get to it in a second. The only other name I'd really want to talk about above is Kodai Senga.
Okay.
And that's another alternative for anyone looking to spend up. But Kodai Senga looks really good. Rockies are terrible. Don't need to spend too much time on it. Ezekiel Tovar placed in the IL again. Like, it's bad, all bad for the Rockies.
Sure. All right. So get past that next group then. Where do you want to go?
Warren just talked about Erod. We are not respecting Erod today. We are not Erod respecters here on this program. After I tried to sell the Erod stocks earlier in the year, the stocks are all the way down. They're plummeting. They're in the toilet. And a return in Cincinnati. Not that lineup is overly terrifying, but Encarnacion Strand is back. It's just not the place for it.
Okay.
Will Warren's getting a bunch of ownership. Definitely a little scary. On one hand, I'm not going to let the Dodgers start completely just deter me from playing Will Warren because he's been such a good guy in terms of like missing bats. I mean, he has been great. I've said this like basically from the start of the year, right? Like, Will Warren is a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type pitcher where he looks great and he looks terrible. And he did nothing but pee down his leg against the Dodgers. And I understand that.
Yeah.
But like, you can't take that one start versus like his body of work and like hold that just fully against him. But the Red Sox are a very good offense against right-handed pitching. So like, it's also a risk, one I'd be willing to take just considering the strikeout upside. I mean, even oh wow, Will Warren was only throwing 57 pitches back. Well, he got shelled in the Dodger start and he lost out in the Rocky start due to rain. So he has it's been kind of unfortunate for him. But I do think there's some serious strikeout upside, especially when you're just talking about all the pitchers around him. I mean, him and Ben Brown are like the two clear, I'm going to spend down on you to just hopefully get some strikeouts out of.
Yeah.
And then I got one that a lot of people are probably not going to like nor play. But it's someone that I am kind of invested in today, John.
Okay.
And it's another guy who has two first names. And you know what? I gave you my feelings on two first names last night. It's not Chad Patrick.
Okay.
Because those are like the most bland two first names. At least Colton Gordon has two like cooler first names, right? Like you can go, you can make a case that those are much cooler for double first names. Because like Gordon Ramsay, like obviously Gordon Ramsay's cool. Sure. Colton, pretty cool name, right? Like much cooler than Chad Patrick.
Sure.
Okay. So Colton Gordon this year, and actually, I think on the pre-show you and I built with David Fry, I believe, and we liked Jose Ramirez, and I still don't dislike those players either. But Colton Gordon comes into this game 5.95 ERA, obviously bad. 1.4 WHIP, obviously not great. His 5.95 ERA attached to a 2.65 expected ERA, 3.7 xFIP, 3.5 Sierra. Righties and their 286 ISO is actually a 167 expected ISO, 383 WOBA, 278 expected WOBA. So a lot of just really good luck breaking against Colton Gordon right now. And then you look at the Guardians against left-handed pitching this year, 28th in OPS, 28th in WOBA, 28th in ISO, 26th in WRC plus, and they've struck out 25% of the time. Colton Gordon has given us a couple starts of like, I can miss bats, face an offense in Kansas City that doesn't strike out,
Sure.
and has just kind of been a little unlucky. I am playing some Colton Gordon today in lineups where I want to get a little different than like just punting or just playing Ben Brown, because there's in that range, there's not a lot to like in SP2, and especially if you are just trying to jam a Skubal or a Schwellenbach or two of Skubal, Schwellenbach, Senga, like or one of those three, and then you want to use bats, like you do need a cheap SP2. So I don't hate Colton Gordon as an alternative option to Ben Brown.
Okay. Anything else here? Moving on to catcher. Where is he? What's his price? Where is he? Kyle Teal hitting 6th, 2,500, making his major league debut tonight. Is that just the easy plug for you, or is there a different spot you want to go on a large slate here?
I don't think that's the plug. Like, you can play Kyle Teal. I think catcher's really good today, which is not something that we typically say.
We generally spend down at catcher, yeah.
I think that there's a lot of different directions you can go. Cal Raleigh, if you want to spend up, obviously is Cal Raleigh.
Yeah.
Don't need to spend overly long time on that. I am really interested in large field tournaments in the Angels today, given how bad Bryce Miller has pitched to right-handed bats. So Logan O'Hoppe and all the home runs that he hits is interesting to me. I think the Angels lineup came out, and I believe O'Hoppe was in it. He is not. That's unfortunate. Darno's in it. That's sad. Adley Rutschman at $3,900 has looked really good at the dish of late.
He's suggesting he's back.
I am suggesting that at 3,900 I would play him. I am not going to say he is back.
Okay.
But Adley Rutschman, I think 3,900 looks pretty good. Tyler Stevenson hitting 3rd today against Erod, $3,600. Gabriel Moreno, $3,400 looks really, really good.
That is a game that does have some rain.
It does.
According to the report I saw from Roth, rain could come during the middle of that game and then stay for hours.
Okay.
Which is a little concerning.
Okay.
Could also not appear at all. So something you have to kind of really monitor as we get closer to roster lock here tonight.
Wonderful. Salvi at 31, I think looks great. There's a lot of really bad peripherals with Davis Martin. Really like Kansas City today. I think that's one of my favorite low-owned stacks of the day.
Okay.
Salvi at 3,100 looks great. Caratini at 3K hitting in the middle of that lineup. And that's my other low-owned favorite stack, Houston. I love Houston. I remember, I think last week or the week before, we were talking about how poorly they were ranking. They're now 2nd in the league in OPS against left-handed pitching. So Caratini looks really good. And then Darno and Teal, 26 and 25 respectively. I like both those players too.
All right. First base. Again, large slate, so plenty of options here. We were all in on the Mets this morning, even though Senzatella's not starting this game, going to be the opener. They are throwing a lefty opener out against Pete Alonso at $5,800. Is he still our top guy today?
Yeah. It's obviously not, like, at the end of the day, it's still Coors. I would have preferred the most at-bats against Antonio Senzatella. Obviously, the good thing is you'll get the 9th inning at-bats guaranteed for the Mets too. So, I have no problem going to Alonso in any and all capacities. He still looks great.
Okay. Shane Langoliers placed on the 10-day IL. So we got that as well for catcher here. All right. So after Alonso, where's your next move?
After Alonso, it's probably Tyler Soderstrom would probably be the next guy I go to.
Yeah, that's a Bender play today. Bender liked the over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs on Mr. Soderstrom here today.
Yeah, Dean Kramer cannot get lefties out. 226 ISO, 394 WOBA allowed to lefties, over 2 home runs per 9 innings. It's just a really bad ballpark. And another Rothism here is that there's wind. And it's not a lot, but it's also going to be like 90 degrees in that ballpark when first pitch rolls around, and there's wind blowing out in a minor league ballpark that we have, since day one talked about, like, oh, why is this total 8.5? Oh, right. It's now 10.5. We're not even we're 6 days into June, and the run total in that game is set as a baseline at 10.5. Like, it's in that ballpark. Rather.
There was so much money to be made early on in the season at that ballpark.
Yep.
We did our best to take advantage of it.
So much money.
Just didn't bet enough, Like,
didn't bet enough. It
ended up being.
So I think Soderstrom's probably the next guy in the 4K range for me. And then when you dip below $4,000, honestly, I think it's the 2 Royals and then Jared Young would probably be like the 3 guys to me that I would go to. And fortunately, we can play Caglione in the outfield and Pasquantino coming off a really big day yesterday, at least in the first game of the doubleheader. I really like the Royals. They're really cheap. They let you get Mets. They let you get up to whatever pitching staff you want. So I am a fan of them. And then obviously if Jared Young cracks the lineup, which now I guess is in question because the Rockies decided to go with the opener.
Right.
We'll see. I think obviously, like, depending on your feelings on the situation in Cincinnati, and if the weather does clear up, CES and Connor Joe are both first base eligible. We know both have had, at least in Connor Joe's case, history of hitting lefties.
Yeah.
CES hitting 5th at 2,500 doesn't look bad either.
No, good. He just get activated. CES?
Yes, today. Yep.
A lot of power, obviously. Gotta make contact for that power.
He does
to actually come to fruition there, but we'll see what happens. Right, anything else at first for you?
Mm-mm.
All righty, second base we go then here up at the top. Ketel Marte leading off against Lodolo, again with some weather concerns in that game, but I did mention on the previous show Lodolo some horrific home numbers. And Marte, we know, can hit some lefties. You have Chisholm versus Buehler at 51. Are you looking to spend up at second base today?
Yeah, if you want to play either of them, I think both guys are pretty good. Walker Buehler has a lefty problem, home run lefty problem, and Ketel Marte is probably, you can count on 2 hands how many players are like better than him at hitting over the last like year and a half, right? I mean, he has been, when healthy, maybe this is a take here, John, but
sure.
I think Ketel Marte is better at hitting than Corbin Carroll.
It's a take. I mean,
Ketel Marte had a better year since the start of last year. Ketel Marte has been better than Corbin Carroll.
The second half of last year, Corbin Carroll was an absolute monster. So,
yeah, Ketel Marte was that all year.
Yeah, maybe
like 40 home runs last year.
Yeah, maybe you're right. It's a splitting hairs almost, right? Yeah. Trying to really argue who's maybe the better player there. Obviously, Carroll's the more complete player because he steals bases, and Marte, for whatever reason, doesn't. But yeah, all right. So both of those guys are good.
Yep.
Mid range again. We were looking at a lot of Mets. Has anything really changed for you there at second?
I don't know. Like, I'm not against the Mets. I just don't like Rollison's thrown no more than 2 1/3 in a game this year. So like at most these guys see 1 at bat against them. Yeah. Right. And then how long do we see Senzatella? The Rockies bullpen is like middle of the pack in terms of ERA this year, better than I think anyone would have assumed coming into the year, especially on the team that has just won its first series and just had its first sweep.
It's the first series of the year.
Yeah, I mean, and it was a sweep. Like, not only like they just went, we're just going to take you out and ruin your life, Miami. I would probably play Altuve over all these Mets that are probably a little overpriced now. Altuve has great numbers against left-handed pitching. So I would probably lean Altuve over the Mets in this range, but I'm also good with playing Mets if that's where your lineup takes you. Like I'm not going to take anyone off the Mets. They're just what they are.
Yeah, they are.
They're in course. Like,
all right, value. A lot of value at second base today as well. Anything for you that you want to prioritize?
Yeah, Jonathan India leading off, coming around. I think the Royals offense just in general has looked better of late. And just the addition of Caglione is like, just makes things so much better for them. Warren, I don't disagree that Bryce Terang is in a great spot. I just think he's too expensive. He's like $3K on FanDuel. I'd rather play him over there.
Sure.
Because it is. Randy Vasquez is terrible. Obviously, this is like the prime lefty spot.
Yeah.
In the playbook over on fantasyalarm.com that you can access now if you're a subscriber. I did like write up Christian Yelich, but mention the splits like we do every time we talk Randy Vasquez. If you want to get to Terang, you can. I just think he's too expensive on this slate. If you're playing multiple lineups, you could play lefty Brewers. That's fine. So India, I really like Chase Maedroth. I mean, dude.
Yeah, you highlight him a lot, right? I mean,
it's a warranted thing. Like we're 40 games into the year and he's hitting 312. He has a 400 on base. Like that's legit, dude. That's good. So yeah, like if you want to play a guy with some speed, he has no power. Obviously the White Sox lineup, as they just continuously call prospects up, looks more serviceable. Although, is it better today with Luis Robert in the lineup? I'm not sure. It might be worse with how bad Luis Robert's been. But yeah, I think Maedroth is continuously underpriced and just like, I have 3K. I don't know what to do. Oh, I can just play the second baseman that got on base 5 times in a game yesterday. That's cool.
Yeah, I agree. Anything else?
Hat tip to Mauricio Dubois.
Yeah, all the way down here.
I really, really, really like the Astros. And then just to get to Poe Degen, edibles are not kicking in. I do smell some banana bread. That has me going right now, though. It's cooking in the background. Cardinals, I don't hate the Cardinals. Robleski getting the call today. One start went really well. One start went really horrible. Or one outing went really well. The other one went absolutely atrociously. It's fine. Cardinals are pretty good against left-handed pitching, and Robleski's been bad in AAA. Only thing I'd say is like it's so hard to gauge pitchers in the PCL. So
sure.
I am definitely good with Cardinals if you go there. Anthony, we just literally talked about Altuve, brother. Just gotta.
Hey, he just tuned in. Yeah.
No.
We like Altuve.
No. Anthony's been in here.
You think so?
Yeah. He asked about Schwellenbach.
That's true. That's true. More important question though: chocolate chips in the banana bread or no?
No, I'm not a big chocolate guy.
I mean, I'm team vanilla here, but chocolate chips in banana bread is still an elite combination.
No.
Right.
Like I'm not making it. So like my wife's making it with my son. If they had if I was just like go make it, doesn't matter. They would put them in there, but
okay.
they also respect my palate.
Okay. They respect your authority?
No. Did not say that. My palate, my palate.
Okay.
I'm not the boss. If she wants to make banana bread with chocolate chip,
AJ Pollock Hillbilly here wants to know if we have Worried about the late night finish for the Astros and then traveling.
No.
What two teams are low owned on DraftKings? Anthony wants to know. Well, we'll get into that. We'll get into some low ownership here as we work our way through. I'll actually click this update ownership button for you guys too and see if anything has changed. Ooh, got a little update in the ownership.
Let's see. Is this a pitcher update?
It is a pitcher.
Let's see.
Scooble still won. We have a new number 2.
Will Warren. Yeah, it's strikeouts.
Will Warren, number 2. Ben Brown, number 3. Kodai Senga, number 4. All up over 20%. Schwellenbach is below them at number 5. Going to be a little contrarian. And then Grande's dart throw play tonight. Colton Gordon there at 8%. Nobody playing John's dart throw, JP Sears.
Well, he sucks.
Baltimore's bad versus lefties.
No, they are, but everyone's playing Baltimore. When you look at the ownership, people are actively playing. Like we're at third right now, right?
Yeah, we're at third. Yeah,
the top 3 of, which is bizarre. 3 of the top 4 owned third basemen all play on Baltimore.
Ramon Urias, Emmanuel Rivera, Kobe Mayo. We don't have a Baltimore lineup yet, right?
Not that I've seen.
So I don't think all 3 of them would be in the lineup at the same time.
No, and we're getting Ramon Laureano back today, so definitely not.
Yeah. So anyways, hard to really trust exactly where that ownership is going to go at third base. But that's where it's at for now. Polanco also getting ownership love. No one really looking to spend up. Eugenio is your highest rostered spend up for today at third base. And even he comes in under 10%. No one's playing Devers versus Warren, which I guess makes sense since people are playing Will Warren now. Jose Ramirez, nobody really playing him. You liked Colton Gordon, so I don't think you're playing Ramirez.
Well, I wouldn't not play Ramirez if you're multi-entry.
Sure.
Like if you're not playing Colton Gordon, by all means, fire up some Jose Ramirez. The numbers look good again against lefties. He's just the only one hitting lefties in that line.
Yeah. Where else are you going to third then?
The only other name I'd mention here in that, I got 2, would be Michael Garcia.
Okay.
4,600. To Anthony's point, what 2 teams? That is one of them. I think the Royals are vastly underowned today with how they've been playing. And this new lineup with Michael Garcia hitting third, I think looks really good. Hitting behind Bobby Witt is never a bad thing. 1, for driving in runs purposes, and 2, getting pitches to hit purposes. So I like Michael Garcia. And we talked how good Isaac Paredes has been against righties. Guess what? Isaac Paredes had another 2 home runs last night because all Isaac Paredes does is just suddenly hit home runs. Does still have a 250 ISO this year against lefties. So I think of the people we didn't mention in the 4K range, Paredes and Michael Garcia would be the 2 for me.
Seeing any other value?
Yeah, just go. Podinja and Stoner can do this. Take it away.
Addison Barger here?
Yeah, Addison Barger. Yeah. I mean, dude, he's hitting third. The numbers against Bailey Ober this year look pretty good. Really for both splits. And Addison Barger hits the ball really, really hard. So, yeah, if you want to play Barger, now the righties have had more success. But I think Barger at 3,400 is a little too cheap for the player we're getting right now.
Okay. Anything else out there for you?
Yeah, Ronnie Mauricio would be the guy. I have no issues playing him.
23K, right?
He's 3K. Urias at 3K actually does have good numbers against lefties.
What do you make of the Vargas little ownership here? Guys,
yeah, I mean,
he hit lefties for a period of time last year, if you remember.
Yeah, he did.
Mets lineup out. Nimmo, Marte.
No, so no Lindor.
Soto, Alonso, McNeil, Taylor, Alvarez, and Mauricio.
So this is the same lineup I think they ran yesterday.
No Lindor.
No Beatty. Oh, no, Beatty's hitting 7th. Beatty's hitting 7th. Yeah. So they're not playing. So playing Mauricio. So no Lindor again.
Yep. Is that it?
No
Taylor's in center.
No Acuna.
Yeah, no Acuna.
And no Jared Young.
Right, what you thought could happen with the lefty now starting.
Yeah, it's a good lineup.
It's got good pieces. The top of the lineup's good.
And Mauricio wraparound.
Yeah, Mauricio wraparound. Yep. All right, well, shortstop makes it a little bit easier. You're not playing Lindor anymore.
No, you're not.
Bobby Witt, Nato, Betts, Gunnar, Jacob Wilson, all right there. Jeremy Pena, who you like Houston tonight, leading off at 44. Perdomo against Lodolo's 43. You can play any of those guys if you want. Do you have a preference?
Whatever you do, just spend up at shortstop.
Yes.
Like whatever you do on today's slate, just 4,000 and up. Do not even consider anyone else an option. Don't even look. Like just get it out of your brain that those players down there don't exist.
I mean, there honestly aren't really that many you'd want to play David Hamilton at second base eligibility.
I know what I'm saying. Just like don't even scroll. Like just
Crawford
keep it at 4K.
Edwards.
No, stop. I love this is great.
You've led a movement.
Let's go. Geraldo Perdomo 2020 former 2023 All-Star. Think about Geraldo Perdomo is going to have 2 All-Star nominations in his career. When 10 years from now when we're doing this show, we're going to look back and be like, remember those 2 years Geraldo Perdomo was a
Perennial All-Star?
Perennial All-Star on a team with Corbin Carroll and Ketel Marte.
Yeah.
He might have as many All-Star appearances as those 2 players. So I'll just run down my the guys I am actively trying to get into my lineups.
Okay.
Bobby Witt, absolute stud today. Zach Nato, absolute stud today. Love the Angels righties today against Bryce Miller. Really low owned team. Mookie Betts, love the Dodgers righties against Sonny Gray. Jeremy Pena, maybe top 3 favorite play of the day for amongst all plays. Love Jeremy Pena 4,400. Bo Bichette, love Bo Bichette. We didn't really talk Vladdy, but would love a Bo Bichette, Vladdy, Barger 1 through 3 little mini stack too.
Sure.
So I think those shortstops are where I'm trying to prioritize. Yeah.
Okay. Outfield we go then. Obviously, again, plenty of spots to spend up for today. Do you got a preference of your Judge, Ohtani, Soto, Acuna crew?
Preference between the outfielders or 6K outfielders.
I left off Tucker and PCA because I don't think we're going the Scooble matchup there. So
if you like burning money, if you like burning money, you can.
Sure.
Soto for me.
Yeah. I think many would probably feel the same way given the matchup. He is your second highest rostered player today. Nemo's number 1 in the outfield. As you mentioned, Ramon Laureano back and getting a lefty. He's number 3 today at 3K. J-Rod, Julio Rodriguez up there, and then Aaron Judge. Those are your top 5 in ownership for the slate.
Yeah. I mean, you can always play Judge. I think if you're playing Yankees, you want to get the lefties, but you're also going to play Judge. So Judge plus lefties.
Steve wants to know if we can stack Twins. Shorter answer is you can always stack Twins on this show. But
shorter answer is that you can. It's another tricky one because they're going with an opener that actually can pitch some length, and then Eric Lauer. So getting a righty and a lefty, it's a fine play, but there's also some pinch hitting possibilities in today's lineup. Wallner and Larnack are in the lineup. Could you see a case that Willie Castro pinch hits for one of those players in the 4th inning or 5th inning when Eric Lauer is dealing, right? So you can play the Twins if you want. They're very low owned if you want to go there. I think J-Rod is definitely fine. I actually think the righties look really good against Kyle Hendricks. That's been the sweet spot against Hendricks, and you're getting him out of that ballpark.
Yeah.
I love Mike Trout at 5,200. I think Mike Trout and the
Mike Trout double
Angels.
dong commenting in the chat.
I mean, dude, I think the Angels just look really good. I wrote it up in today's playbook again that you can find at fantasyalarm.com, and I'll give a little context. The righties are what Bryce Miller can't pitch to. 303 average, 485 slug, 182 ISO, 369 WOBA to right-handed bats. And I have Ohapi in this example, but I wrote up there's 5 Angels in today's lineup, John, or I guess not anymore with Ohapi, that all had a 210 plus ISO against right-handed pitching. Ward, Trout, Nato, Ohapi, Adele. And did I see Adele? Did we see Adele? Yeah, Adele hitting 8th.
That probably makes sense for a team that has like a 190 ISO in the year, right?
Yeah, I mean, dude, but I'm just saying,
yeah.
Trout has 10 home runs against righties this year. Taylor Ward has 15 home runs against righties this year. Nato has 7. Adele has 8. All of their power is coming in this split.
But 15 of those came against Zach Littell in one game. So
a lot of them came against Zach Littell. Okay, I understand that is true. But Bryce Miller is allowed a 485 slug and a 182 ISO in a ballpark conducive to home runs tonight. They're out of Seattle and in LA. No one's going to play the Angels. So what? 2 things. You're playing DFS.
Yeah.
You set out on your DFS journey every day. You go to your desk. You're like, okay, which pitchers are getting me strikeouts? Which hitters are hitting me home runs, right? Typically the first, or what lineup can hit the most home runs?
Yeah.
Well, I have this pitcher that is coming off an elbow injury, got shelved in his first elbow injury, and has a track record of pitching poorly away from this elite pitching environment, right? That's what Bryce Miller has been. He has not been good away from Seattle. As much as I like Bryce Miller, it's just kind of what it is. He's on the list of Mariners pitchers that don't pitch well. So Trout's looked great since returning. I think Trout and the Angels are one of the better large field tournament plays. They're not my top single entry stack, but they're as a single entry player, I'm MMEing tonight. So I'm getting a lot of Angels. I'm playing Angels. So I think they look really good in large field stuff.
Okay. We did get a Guardians lineup. David Fry sitting second today. No Kwan in the lineup. Ramirez third. Martinez is leading off for them. Not a great lineup for the Guardians. So you're no Manzardo. You're Colton Gordon.
When you can hit Daniel Schneemann against a lefty 5th, you got to do it.
Yeah. Not a great lineup. Not a great lineup out there for the Guardians.
Just saying, when you can hit Daniel Schneemann 5th, you take it and you run.
You can't miss those opportunities. Yeah. All the Yankees are in play, as we mentioned in the preview show. Grisham down here. Dominguez, obviously. I still like the Detroit lefties, even though Brown is popular today.
Yelich 48. Don't want to go past.
Yeah, don't need to intentionally go by. We just got an A's lineup: Butler, Wilson, Rooker, Soderstrom, Muncy hitting 5th today. Blade, Urias, McLiver, and Clark.
It's we got 2 Max Muncies hitting 5th tonight. How about that?
It's a spot.
What a time to be alive. I hope they come to bat at the same time again. That would be amazing.
Ballinger's down here. Mentioned that already. Grisham, Carpenter. Play down.
Do love the lefties, Lawrence Butler, the 4,300 Lawrence Butler. Love that.
Soderstrom's 4K. Talked about him at first base. We can get him here too. Dominguez, Frelick 4K. Sheets versus Patrick's 4K. Yeah,
Lourdes,
yeah,
38,
Lourdes hitting third today. No, obviously, no. Corbin Carroll does kind of suck a little bit, but
yeah, but don't worry, the Talonators.
Myers hitting fifth for Houston. It's Logan Allen.
Yeah, the Houston lineup is an interesting one. They don't have that's Yanyar with no Yanyar Diaz in it. They're hitting him right in the middle there.
So they got Blade hitting sixth. Castro, as you kind of called out, but he wasn't in the lineup. Is that what you said? Not in the lineup. Okay. Raphael has been good lately. Topman's leading off. Gritchick hitting fifth at 3K. Cam Smith hit 3K, hitting seventh. Laureano 3K, and he's popular tonight. Anything else for you down here?
Joe Adele 33 with the power. He's actually been pretty good lately. Dylan Carlson, if he's in the lineup, 2,800. Nick Lofton, 2,900. We
just got an
for
update
Kansas
on
City.
the outfield ownership. Marte, Nimmo, McNeil, and Soto are your top four rostered outfielders today.
Marte.
They all play.
What's the comment? What's the commonality between those players?
They're the same pitcher.
Yeah. I mean, it's four of the top five in their lineup. And then
obviously, Alonso is your top first baseman today. So, they're all super popular today. Are the Mets as we expected? All right, let's get a lineup. Scooble.
Let's get a core.
Scooble. And then what? Luciano?
Yeah, that's easy.
Mauricio, not Luciano. Mauricio. Keep getting them confused.
It's Ronnie Mauricio. Yeah, Luciano's the guy in the Giants.
Okay.
I mean, Pete. I'm playing Pete.
Play Alonso. Play Soto. Make the rest of this lineup work for you. Right?
Yeah, and this is why people are playing Ben Brown. This is why people are playing Will Warren,
right?
Cheaper. Yeah, this is why I'm playing Colin Gordon. It's just you need this is why people are playing Orioles. Because when you think about JP Sears is starting and the Orioles stink against lefties. But when they go to that bullpen and as Valdo Beto is your guy coming in the fifth, sixth inning, the Orioles might just score enough runs from then on to pay it off, right? It's that, and that's why people are playing cheap Orioles. So
do you want to do Laureano as your other outfielder here then?
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
All right. All right, cores for now. We'll put the rest of the lineup in that Discord. You know where to find it. Hit that in the description or join through your profile page over at fantasyalarm.com. You can also sign up for the 7-day free trial, fantasyalarm.com/win, or scan that QR code for you guys. I'm pretty sure the example lineup we put in yesterday did good. When you build an example lineup, is it mainly for single entries? Not really. I mean, James and I obviously play single entry contests. I don't really think of it as a single entry only lineup though. So you can play it for multi-entry GPPs. That's fine.
Yeah.
But we had in the night show, we had Fermin, big night, Hap, big night. We had Freed and Framber, big nights there. And we had one other guy have a huge night at the dish for us. So I'm pretty sure that example lineup did really well for those of you who played it. So
yeah, did we play PCA?
No, I forget. It's in the Discord.
In that lineup?
But I know we had some comments in the Discord about that lineup doing well last night. So hopefully y'all Caminero homer. That's what it was. We had the Caminero homer. Guys, full lineup will be in the Discord. We appreciate you tuning in. Grinding out. We'll be back on Monday for the Sunday preview show, or Sunday for the Monday preview show. We'll catch you later.